Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lili Nishmat Simi Mirosi Ruspas Mordechai. From the more powerful ones. Lekavod our Chashrik. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Eli Kornblum.
From where?
Borough Park.
Bemis. Wow. Shalom Aleichem. Nice to meet you. You do the shir with us?
Not with you, once in a while, but with the Rav Laser Horowitz from Daguda.
So what are you doing here?
Once in a while, I came for a bar mitzvah for Ureinik.
Wow. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Shkoy for coming. What's your name? I know you from somewhere. Where did I just see you? What's your name?
Yossi Kovac.
Shalom Aleichem. Nice to meet you. Any other guests? That's it. Okay. Sunday morning, Givaldik. Our boys like to remind the Oilom, we have bat. This is not for you, Rabbi Nachman. If you have WhatsApp, it's kedai to get this bat. And you write the word, the Marshall City.
I have 2 bends and 2 bats.
You put the word status, and these little clips come up on your phone, and you could pass it weiter. The other thing I learned yesterday is that you write the word clip, and there's like 40 clips there. So if you want to see, let's say, Kevisland or the cruise or any different one of the AI clips, you go on the bat, you write clip. For boys, tonight's a big night. It's Sunday night. You know what that means? It's the raffle. It's 2 rooms remaining. Tonight, we're giving away 1. So if you buy a ticket today, you have 2 chances. Mamish like last year, 2 chances to win.
The Heilige Chofetz Chaim, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, said at the end of his life, if he only had the koyach, he would go from city to city to bring people closer to Torah, to get people to learn. MDY, over the past years, has done exactly that. Gone from city to city across the world, setting up shurim, having the entire world lifted closer to Torah, closer to Hashem. And now, we have the MDY Shabbaton. I can walk down the street and people will come over and ask me about the MDY Shabbaton. It is sold out, I guess everybody knows. However, Lama Nigara, why should we be held back? There is a special MDY raffle in which a few of the special rooms were reserved from the very beginning for those that participate in the raffle. I ask everybody, participate, get a raffle. Bez Hashem, you should get the room, you should come to the Shabbaton. We will all sing and dance together with Reb Eli. We will celebrate a Kabbalah Satoira in January. Bez Hashem Yisparach. I look forward to seeing everybody together at the Shabbaton.
Goya. Kabbalah Satoira in January. Chaim, 1 from the 5 towns. Chaim from the 5 towns, 1 tonight. We'll see who it is. Maybe somebody from Eretz Yisrael. Big schmuck. Somebody flew in. There's still tickets. I was looking at tickets yesterday. I still didn't get my son a ticket, and he has to fly with me. All right, Moti Green. Okay, that's not whatever. Agitin Rebelli. I said this already yesterday. Motzi Shabbos at Tom's River Shear Watch. Record turnout with guest Chaim Snow. Chaim Snow. Staten Island Shear Watch still going strong. Taka, very strong. Look at that. There's a nice crowd there. Unbelievable. So Rabbi said to remind the Oilam, every dollar that goes into the raffle goes to tzedakah, so you can take it off a meiser. You'll play this raffle game and be a win-win situation. Either you win or you win. Pesach sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levracha. The Pesach sponsored anonymously, Nishmas Doiv Shlom Yehuda Zechron Levracha ben Shmuel Chaim Zechron Levracha. Sheshagav Adam Kachim Kol Chayav. Lezech Nishmas Nochem Tzvi ben David. Sponsored by Skybrook Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshi Shlafrak for the devotion to Torah study and the Shir. Question: when I say your name, what does it do on the 30th time?
It makes you want to push the guy to sponsor the next Masefta also, so that...
you want to hear, yeah, right, I'm sure. I know you. Joel Gedalius. Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous Hatzlacha Baruch Zevachim. Ari Simon, the Refuah Shlema Avi Moiri, Baruch Bemirim, a monthly sponsor. And here are the rest of the monthly sponsors: Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shlema, Esther Bas Luna. Esther Walkenstein, Mazel Tov to my husband Kalman and Tano Walkenstein on his 40th birthday. Anonymous, Baruch Adulidai, Baruch Tzvi Nisim and Shoshana Leah, Yehuda Binyamin Ben Chava. Weekly sponsors: MDY Zoom Mishpacha in memory of our dear friend Mr. Henry Rosenblatt, Olav Shalom of Kibbutz Lavi. His friendly and kind-hearted personality brightened our day. Yehi Zichrei Baruch, best friends with Reb Nachum Katz.
No, in Shiva class.
Who, you went? No. They have any message to the Olam?
They're waiting for the can of the film to see what happens.
Oive.
It doesn't really help, but it took 2 hours to get his body out.
Shem Yerachem, Shem Yerachem. Weekly sponsors: Stephen Rubenstein, Lili Nishmas Imi Mirati, Esther Bas Pesach, the Mishpachat Rubenstein.
He did say that the Daf Yomi was the highlight of his day.
Highlight of his day. I had Shimi Leafman sent me a video of him.
Smack to do the daf.
Put it in. All right, next time. Daily sponsors: Anonymous, in memory of the Yardside of Rachel Bas Yaakov, Lekavod father Shlita's birthday, Reb Osher Shapiro, son of the Narola Rebbe Shlita, Chaim Moshkevitz, Lili Nishmas Avi Moiri, Tzvi Ben Zev. It's different ones.
Looks different, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Jamie Azulai, in honor of Rebelli, for finally saying Ben and not Bas. Bas and not Ben. Even that one. Even that one. In honor of Rebelli, for finally saying Bas and not Ben. Ooh. No, listen, it's 2 words in Hebrew, so you start from the right and you go. So it's Shem Yerachim. Danny Kaladi, in memory of my dear sister Elisheva Yal Bas Levi Vilea on her 16th yahrzeit today. Epstein and Kamiansky family.
This is old.
Old. You get a freebie on the yahrzeit. It's not the yahrzeit anymore. You're saying. Vayi Ben Avram, Dr. Epstein's father. Emily Art. For Shlema Yonatan Ben B'Shem Bracha. For Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. For Hayelet Daniel Zev Ben Hayelet Esther. We're holding the Kuf Yud Aleph from the base by the Mishnah, and we have something super interesting. We have a Mishnah that's very, very long, which means that Kuf Yud Beis on Beis, the entire Kuf Yud Beis on Beis, and the beginning of Kuf Yud Gimel and part of Kuf Yud Beis on Aleph is all one long Mishnah. In fact, it's 10 Mishnayos. If you look at the Mishnayos, it's 10 Mishnayos in Mishnah, so easier stuff today. I'm going to ask the Olam don't scream out the answer. I just want to see, because I was disappointed. I have to say, I was disappointed yesterday in the Hebrew Shir. I asked this question. I thought the whole Olam would know, and not the whole Olam knew, very far from the whole Olam knew. After the entire learning Zevachim, simple question. If you know the answer, raise your hand. If you know the answer, do not say it. You can even raise your hand if you heard the shir last night. But just raise your hand. Do you know which carbon has its blood sprinkled above the red line? Above the red line. If you raise your hand, I could call on you. I have the reshus to call on you. Above the red line, Rabbi Isai. Huh? I saw that you raised your hand. No, what is it? No. It's fine. What are you saying? Chatos. Wow, the English guys know more than the Hebrew. Chatos, and oil soif. Sprinkled. Don't be medayik b'diburi. Okay, it means zriko, whatever. Chatos and oil soif. Very good. Zok teilegi Mishnah. Chatos shekibel doma b'kois echad. So we're going to see 2 cases here in the Mishnah. One case is that you do kabbalas adam. First, the kohen does shchita. The next step is Kabbalah. After that goes Halacha, then Zrika. Two cases. One case is where he receives the blood in one cup, one kli sharsh. That's normal. Another case is where he received it in two cups. We're going to see a big nafkamina. And we're continuing the theme of doing the avodah outside of the Beis Hamikdash, which many times it brings a iser kares. Receive the blood in one cup. Nasam bachutz. You sprinkle this blood outside of the Beis Hamikdash. So what should happen right now if we stop right here? You're chayiv. V'chazer v'nasam b'fnim. And you went inside and you did it again. Or b'fnim v'chazar v'nasam b'chutz. Chayav. You're chayiv kares shekuloi roi b'fnim, because it all could have been sprinkled inside. So let's look at the second case for a second. B'fnim. You did the zrika inside the Beis Hamikdash, so everything is good, everything is kosher, it's gevaldik. Then you went ahead and you sprinkled from the same cup. You went and you did a zrika outside of the Beis Hamikdash, chayav. Question: why are you chayav? You already did the sprinkling inside. Everything is good. It's over. It's over. Oh, it's the shirayim, and the shirayim is ma'akiv. Very good. Ariel's holding. Like Reb Nechemia holds that the shirayim is an essential part of here, this whole music thing. I wish they could maybe lower the volume. Or maybe just take the volume off completely. Here, we go 1, 2, 3 without volume. Oh, so much better. Okay, so that, the shirayim, pouring the leftover into the drain, is part of the avodah. It's not, oh, I don't know what to do with it, let me pour it in the drain. No, it's pouring the drain. You have kavana, it's an avodah, and since it's an avodah, and you do that avodah outside the Beis Hamikdash, you're chayiv. New case. Kibul dama b'shtei kaises. I don't know what happened over there. There's a lot of blood. He got confused. He takes 2 cups. He chaps blood with 2 cups. Nasan shnei b'fnim, potter. Now, Rashi says in a few of these cases over here, there's no chiddush whatsoever. It's just for the symmetry of the Mishnah. So he's saying he poured both of the bloods inside the Beis Hamikdash. Of course, potter. There's no chiddush over there that you potter. Here's the chiddush: Shneim bachutz chayav. If you pour from both of the cups outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you're chayav. You might even be chayav twice, 2 chatois, if you had a helam in the middle. If you forgot what you're doing is asur, then you became aware of it, then you did it again. Echad b'fnim, echad b'chutz, potter. This we need to understand, Rabbi. This is confusing. You take from cup A and you do zrika inside the Beis Hamikdash. So okay, you're yaitza. Now, what happens to the leftover, Rabbi? What's the leftover? What is that called? Shirayim and ma'akiv. And then ve'echad b'chutz, and then you take from the second cup and you pour it outside, potter. All of a sudden, now we say potter. A second ago we said that if you take from the shirayim and you do outside, you pour it outside, you chayiv. How come right now you potter?
Maybe shirayim. It's not shirayim. It's a different clay.
Oh, very good, very good. So it was mamish holding. It's a different kli. So what if it's a different kli?
It's nothing. Not shirayim. You do zrika from that clay. It's not the kli.
But it's a shirayim from the original. Very good. So we have to. It's a chiddush, and that's what we're going to call dachui. It's been pushed off. It's a different kli, so it's as if there's never a zrika, like you, mamish, like you're saying. There's no zrika from the second kli. And memela, you're not chayiv from that. That's different. Very good. Echad b'chutz, ve'echad b'fnim. If he poured from one outside, now let's stop right over. He poured from the outside. Is that zrika or not zrika? At this point, yes, it's zrika. Why? Because he didn't do zrika yet. Not poured. He sprinkled. He did zrika with cup A outside before he did it with cup B inside. So you're chayev. Ve'echad b'fnim. Chayev ala chitzoin. Now you're chayev because you didn't do any zrika at all. So either one of the cups is roi for zrika. It didn't become dachu yet. Memela, you're chayev on the zrika that you did outside. Then when you went ahead and you did the zrika inside, b'apnimi mechaper, you get a good kapara from the blood from the second cup on the aveira that you did originally. The only problem is that you bought yourself a new aveira called kares.
Assuming you left it inside.
Yeah. If you took it outside, that's it. It's possible with yotzin. Says the Mishnah, Lemad David Doima, I have a mashal for you. Lemafrish chatosoi v'avda. This is a mashal to somebody who set aside a chatos. V'avda, and it got lost. And I got to stop over here because there's a very, very important quote from Yogi Berra. We know that Yogi Berra has some of the best quotes of all time. Whether he knew that he's making a quote or not is a different shayla. He says that if you don't know where you're going, when you get there, you're going to be lost. As I zokter, memra. So what do you see from here? So you have to learn a side from this. You have to know where you're going. You have to know where you're going. You have to have a goal. You have to have goals in life. I'm going to finish Shas. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You have to have goals. And then maybe you could be moisav and you could say that if you have a goal, and then in the middle of the goal you have a detour, that's all part of it. It's all the detour is all part of getting there. Oh, Yogi Berra. V'avda. I wasn't really zoichet to see. Is anybody zoichet to see him play?
Yes. His real name was Dov.
What was his real name? Dov. Your father introduced?
My father introduced me to him in the dugout in the stadium when he was the manager.
Oh, you mean so he's a manager later? He's a catcher and a... But what was that other line? I once spoke about his line.
Always go to people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to yours.
Nobody goes to crowded places anymore. Deja vu all over again.
Deja vu all over again. All right. Always go to people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to yours. Gewaldig. Love it. Divrei Chochma. Okay? So, if a person has to bring a chatos, and you set aside a chatos, and the chatos ran away, got lost, and then you designate a second one. Designate a second chatos to fill in the loss. You have to bring a chatos. A person did an aveira, whatever it is, b'shoigeg, he has to bring a chatos. He brings carbon A, sets it aside, says, you're a chatos. And A runs away, doesn't want to be a chatos, runs away. So now he has to bring a chatos. What does he do? He's allowed to bring another one. And the second one, B, becomes a full-fledged chatos. No, Rabbi say, what happens? I'm sure this is what happens every single time. If you chai the chatos and it runs away, and then you bring another chatos, what happens the minute after you? The first one always comes home right after you designate. It's always right. Hush it like that.
I'm supposed to die.
Oh. And then you find the first one. I mean, it's not shy. It's partial. Like you could daven and remember Alanes. Nothing. You're not going to find it. But as soon as you be matriach yourself and you buy it. Then it shows up, and now you have a dilemma. What do? A or B? Both. Now both are chatois. Both. So here's the list. It's kedai to remember this list of Timna. There are 5 chatois. There's a kosov. These 5 must die. Vlad chatos, the offspring of a chatos, must die. Die means literally you put it in a room and that's it. You don't give it any food. Tmuras chatos, you do tmura. Chatos shemetzu baleh, and finally the 4th one in gold. Chatos sheniskaper baleh. So that's what we're talking about now. If there's a chatos that the owner already had a forgiveness from a different chatos.
No, but this is a lie.
So that's the machlokas. We'll see in a second. It's alive, and according to Rebbe, even though it's alive, it's still considered chadash v'niskaper boleh. Now, you as the owner, you have A and B, and they're both standing in front of you. You could choose B to be your chadas. You like it more. It's larger. It's better. And A is going to be set off to die, or you could choose A, and B is going to die. Now you were over. You're supposed to shecht one, and the second one, according to Tzman Omar, goes to die. or whatever you want to do with it. But the point is, you're only supposed to shecht one. What happens when you shecht one? You shecht one, you shecht A. What happens to B? What happens to B? What's its status? Either it needs to die, but the bottom line is it's not a chatas anymore. It leaves the chatas category, becomes like chulin. And you just shechted a chulin inside the Beis HaMikdash, which is aser. So your potter, shteim bachutz chayav. If you shechted both of them outside your chayav, if there was two halamas, in other words, there was an awareness in between. Achaz b'fnim v'achaz b'chutz. What if you shechted one inside the Beis HaMikdash and one outside the Beis HaMikdash? Potter. Because once you did the one inside, then the one outside is nothing. Achaz b'chutz v'achaz b'fnim. Now I think over here is where Rashi says that he shechted both of them together. That's why you chayav on the outsides. But if you shecht one inside the Beis HaMikdash, and so you shechted B, let's say, you shechted B, so now A is not a chatas anymore. So if you shecht the B or A outside, you're potter. Achaz b'chutz. But if you shechted B first, b'chutz, so now you're chayiv because you shechted a chatas outside of Beis HaMikdash. V'achaz b'fnim, and then you went ahead and you shechted the other one. Chayiv ala chitzoyni, chayiv kores for shechting that one outside first. V'apnimis, and the inner one, b'chaperes, it has the ability to give you a kapara. L'shem shedama poiter is b'sara. We know that the zrika of any carbon allows you to eat the meat. If it's meat like a chatos, the kohen can eat the meat only after the zrika. Kachi poiteres is b'sar chaverta. If both of these were shechted simultaneously, like two kohanim shechted them together, so there's no mi'ila on the second one. One has the ability to say that the second one is not a carbon, not kachim, and there's no mi'ila. Zok the Gemara on top of Kufyud Beis Amadal. So basically, we already explained all of this. If you did zrika outside of the Beis Hamikdash, v'chaz v'nasam b'fnim, and then you repeated, and you did zrika inside the Beis Hamikdash, shekule roy liyos b'fnim. The blood that you did outside was roy to be blood, to be zrika. We need a zrika now. Al b'fnim, that I understand. Al b'fnim v'helam b'chutz. But if you did the zrika inside, and afterwards you did another zrika outside, shirayim ninu. What's the problem? How can you be chayv kares on leftovers? Says Gemara, Amani Reb Nechemia Yidomar Shir Adam Shekirim B'chutz Chayav. It goes according to Reb Nechemia, who says that even the leftovers is part of the avodah, and if you makriv and you pour it outside of the Beis Hamikdash, you chayav kares. As the Gemara, Reb Nechemia, Emes Seifa. This is Mamish Chazara. They pointed it out in the Mishnah. Then the Mishnah talks about a second case where he accepted the blood, he received the blood with 2 cups. So if he did Zrikas Hadam with both cups inside the Beis Hamikdash, there's nothing wrong with that potter. No chiddush. If you did Zrika from both of the cups outside, you're chayiv. Good. That I understand. Everything is good. But this is the problem. Echad b'fnim, once you did Zrika inside the Beis Hamikdash and you were yoytze Zrika, v'echad b'chutz, and now whatever's left over is called shirayim, potter. Why you potter v'amar Reb Nechemia sheyar adam shekirim b'chutz, chayiv this shirayim, and you chayiv at least 4 or 5 people scream out. I hope that's not part of your speech.
No.
Shekirim b'chutz chayiv. Shiyar Adam, so they said no, it's not Shirayim because it's another Kli. Very good. Says Gemara, Seiv Asal Natan Kam de Rebbe Lozer Rebbe Shemin. Doma Kois Oise Dochel Lechaveiroi. Since it's in a separate cup, it's pushed off. That's it. It's separate. So you're not over on Zrika outside of the Beis Hamikdash. It's a different cup. You already did the Zrika from the first cup. Cup B has no connection to this carbon. Says the Gemara, we said in the Mishnah, Lamad Dov Doima, person who set aside a chatos and it got lost, and then he set aside a second one, and then the original one came back. Lamad Dov Doima Lamali, what do I need this for? Homani Rebbe, to teach us the chiddush that goes according to Rebbe. Doma, Avuda b'shas afrosha meisa. So now, this is what Ariel was screaming right back then. That what? That this fourth thing, Chadash and Iskaber Ba'alel, is if you already shecht B, A ran away. So you go ahead to the store, you buy another carbon B, and you designate it as a carbon, and then you shecht it, and then after you shecht it, 2 days later, A shows up at your door. Now what? Okay, so it's Chatash and Iskaber B'Alel. But over here it's different. Over here you have both of them in front of you. But even if B'Shas Hafrosha, in other words, they're here alive, and I want to tell you, he says, okay, but that's only because one got lost and I replaced it. Yes, they're both alive at the same time. There's still the halacha of Chadash and Iskaber B'Alel. When don't I have this halacha? This reminded me, I heard about Ralph Hertzka. I don't know if it's true. I hope he's not makbid. I want him to come to the shir, so maybe there's a great way to get him involved. Somebody told me, I don't know, if not him, somebody else. What's a Geshmaka Achrayas, Bizman Hazeh? If let's say you have to fly to Eretz Yisrael in business class, but you're not exactly sure if you're going to be out of your meeting at the right time. So you buy a ticket on another airline, business class, for like an hour later, and then another one for 2 hours later, like you bracket it. Oh, that's the right word. Bracket it. Oh, those anybody a photographer? No? It's bracketing. So you bracket. No? Who's a photographer? But you know what bracketing is, you know. Plus 0.1, 2, yeah. Kitzer, you don't know when the meeting's going to be over. You don't know if they're going to cancel a flight. So you got to do a achrayas. Each ticket is $5,000-$10,000. No, it's achrayas. What
a great muscle.
Yeah, what a great way to say, Shalom Aleichem, come to the shir. No, it is a great muscle. Why does the guy have achrayas? Has achrayas because he's concerned that one of them is going to die. Whatever. Okay, but isn't that it's a shtick of waste? But no, if you can afford it, we're going to see soon who does it. Nasi, Choshuv. But if he set aside to begin with, it's not one got lost and he came up with another one. From day one, he said, I want one of these two to be my chatas. One of them is going to be an oila. You hear this? It's a shtickle problem, a little bit of a problem. Why? What's an oila? A male or a female? Male. What's a chatos? Male or female? Shtickle problem. You have an Asham that we have to send them off to Kevis land. I did a little survey last night by the Hebrew. What was your favorite video of the AI of Zevachim? Some people said Kevis land. What did they say? The different. No, what are yours? Let's hear. Anybody have a favorite? No. Which one? Ben Gvir. Oh, because of the Beis Hamikdash, Ben Gvir. Some people liked the Rishon Ber Sorotsky one. That was a good one. Donnie Fine is a kohen. What's your favorite? You have Ariel lying. You just said it because he's in there. Anyway. Well, he liked the Shlomim one. Benny liked the one.
Benny's the head of the ship.
Oh no, all the Israelis. The Israelis overwhelmingly said him. The mother of the Yerid. Yeah, come on. Pesach. That's Ashkenaz and Sephardi. A few people said that last night, not you. A few people said it. The Ashkenaz and Sephardi. Oh, what the Kazayas? What's the punchline? I forgot the punchline. MDY Cruise. Yes, that's one of them. That's for sure. For sure. It was comes from because Viter. I like Viter the most. Which one? The Shrotzim. What's the Shrotzim one? Remind me. No, that's not what he's saying. What's the Shrotzim one?
That's what he's saying.
Miluim? No.
Choir. That was last week.
Oh.
What was last week? I don't remember.
Last week when they had what's the name with the voice and chairs?
Oh no! Last week we had Shrotzim, where the guy was because it showed that it's not a turtle. The turtle, the frog, that whole one. That's his favorite. Interesting. Yes. That's not a video. That's not AI. That's really good.
If it was AI,
That was one of the best edits. Okay, weiter. So basically, if you have an asham that has one of these problems, let's say chatash niskaper b'oleh, but it's an asham. So this idea of putting the chatas to die is by a chatas. You don't do it by asham. So what do? Kevis land. That's I got. Kevis land is my favorite, I think. Kevis land. That's a bunch of good ones. Kosher loyla. It's a good. It could be a noila. Says Gemara midami. Hasam asham zachar v'oila zachar. That's great. Asham is zachar. Oila is zachar. What do you bring me a raya from Rav Huna Rav? Asham could flip into oil. I get it. Avachatas nekevei. And we had this mamish, this thing. I told by Chavrus. I said, where is this? We had Torah, where one Tana said to another one. He said, why don't you use this carbon for this? So he tells him, Torah. Says Rashi, such a Talmud Chacham like you can make such a big mistake. One is a 2-year-old, one is a 1-year-old. How could you take this and make it that? It has to be less than 2 years old, and you're taking a 2-year-old and making it. You thought you could flip it? Mamish, you messed up. Over here also, Torah. I mean, I don't know if it's the same thing. How could you say that a chatas flips into oil? You push it forgot. One is a zachar, one is in a keva. Ask him where it is. He says, Daf Avodah Zara. Boom, Daf Avodah Zara. So check it out. Daf Ayin Zayin. Omar Rebbe Chia, Miyustiniyah, B'sar Nasi. We're talking about an oila, yes, but sometimes. No, this chatas. Sorry, it's talking about a chatas. Talking about a chatas, but sometimes the chatas is a male when it's the soir of the nasi, and that's how such a chatas can flip into an oila. Hadran Allah chashoichet ba'amala. Hadran Allah chashoichet ba'amala. Hadran Allah chashoichet ba'amala. Zok de'eli Mishnah. We're going to do 10 Mishnayos now in a row. Paras chatos esrofa chutz megita. We know the paraduma. We had this a bunch of times, but the paraduma is shechted and the whole avoid is done. You burn it. Opposite of the heichal on Harazaisim would be cool if, like, you saw, like, I don't think it's Harazaisim then, but this is the mountain that looks over and you could see the Beis Hamikdash from it. So if you shechted it in another place, not there, from the 2 goats, one of them you take to the desert, you throw it off a cliff. Shekir b'chutz, you didn't throw it off a cliff, you decided to shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Potter. That's not considered an avodah outside. Why? The Isser Kares comes to something that's supposed to be inside the oil mayit, inside the Azara, and you took it outside. But a paraduma, a Soria Mishtaleach da Azazel, doesn't go inside the Beis Hamikdash. It goes outside. Now you did it in the wrong place outside, you did it the wrong way. For that, you're not chayav of a Kares for doing it outside. Hariveya, an animal that was over Isser with a woman, V'hanirba, or a person did an isser to the animal. V'hamuktzah, you designated an animal for avodah zara. V'hanevad, or you did avodah zara to the animal. These are all animals you cannot bring as a carbon. V'hamechir, somebody traded a dog for a sheep, and you're not allowed to take that sheep and use it as a carbon. V'esnan, a woman got payment for znus with a sheep, so she cannot use that sheep as a carbon. Bakilayim. Nobody's favorite. Still, it's okay. You take a sheep and a goat. Put it in a time machine of some sort. This is a kilayim machine. Wait a minute, it's not done yet. Oh, now it's done. Okay. V'atreifa, and an animal that has some sort of mum that it's not going to live that year, so you can't bring it as a carbon. V'yoytze doifen, if an animal is born through cesarean, shekriva b'chutz. So anyway, you cannot bring these animals as a carbon, and you shechted it outside of the Beis Hamikdash as a carbon. Potter. Why are you potter? Shenem alifnei Mishkan Hashem. If it's not appropriate to bring that animal as a carbon, so you're not over on shechting it outside of Yisrael. Bali Mumin. Bein Bali Mumin Kvuim, Bein Bali Mumin Oivrin. So we have to show this video. This gave a lot of chizuk to a lot of human beings, a lot of kids, a lot of kids are 90% of the shir. At the end of the Mishnah.
למה באת לכאן?
Why'd
כאן
you
באים
come here?
רק חולים,
There's only
ואתה
for
בריא
sick ones.
לחלוטין.
You're
למה
completely...
אתה חושב שאני בריא?
What do you think I'm helping?
יש לי ADHD.
You never saw this?
ADHD זה לא מום, ואתה
Not
צריך
a mum,
לאכול רק
ADHD.
בבית המקדש.
It's a Maila. ADHD is a Maila.
נראה לי ששברתי את הרגל.
I broke my foot. All right. Balimumim oivrim, shikrim b'chutz patur. Oh, לא מצחיק.
This is my life. What's so funny?
Did you break your bones because you had ADHD?
Oh yeah.
You broke other people's bones.
On the other side of the world, someone's so
I'm thinking to myself, you just ruined it for me, Ariel, you just ruined it for me. I'm thinking to myself, I don't have ADHD. I never broke my bones. I never once was in a cast. But I broke many other people's bones. That ruined it. Oy vey. So I might have ADHD. Okay. No, the only reason I don't want ADHD is because I don't want my wife to be right. You have ADHD. You have ADHD.
The ship has sailed on that one.
Okay. Go talk it out with her in the Rebbitzin. He does not. He does, yeah. Let's have a whole nidai with her at the Shabbaton. This coming Shabbat, it's less than a week. It's unbelievable. Wow. The batteries are just starting to drain from last year's Shabbaton. I'm at 90. I need to get the other 10%. Oh. Shimon Oimer, Bali Mumin Kivuim Potter. And Avi, I don't want to tell you the truth, but the truth is you did wake me up today.
I can tell.
You could? It takes you like 2 weeks to recover. It's not normal. Reb Shimon Oimer, Bali Mumim Kvuim Potter. Oh, so now Reb Shimon is going to say a series of basically the same thing 3 times. Reb Shimon holds that if right now you can't bring it as a carbon, but tomorrow you could, that's not a chesarn. That doesn't let you off the hook. For that you get punished. Maybe not karas, but you get a punishment. Reb Shimon Oimer, Bali Mumim Kvuim Potter, Bali Mumim Oivrim. No, if you have a mum kavua, a permanent mum, you're right. That never goes on the mizbeach. But Bali Mumim Oivrim, something that goes away, a cast or something that goes away, Chai Beloisas. He's still over and Loisas. So why? You're right, today you can't, but tomorrow you could. You're over. Let's stop over here. Hold on, let's stop by a new Mishnah. We're going to get there, to a new Mishnah. We know that pigeons, here we go. Look at this. Oh, I didn't click on this list. I didn't realize it's a click. Pigeons are to the left. You have 2 pigeons, the adult and the minor. And you have toirim, the doves, adult and minor. Those 2 in the middle are the ones you can bring to the mizbeach. An older dove and a smaller pigeon. But these guys are asur. So he says, toirim shlo yigiz manom, what if you have a dove? All the way to the right, a baby one, and you brought that, you shechted that outside of the Beis HaMikdash, ubnei yoino shavers manam, or all the way to the left, the older one. Shikrivam bachutz, you shechted it outside the Beis HaMikdash, potter. Why? Because these are not available to the Mizbeach. The larger one is too old, the smaller one is too small. It's not available today to the Mizbeach. So Meila, you're not over. Reb Shimon Oimer, b'nei yoina shavers manam potter, v'tam shelo yigiz manam b'lo yisaseh. It's not true. You're right. The pigeon is too old. Okay, gone. But the one all the way to the right is a baby, since next week it's not going to be a baby and it'll be available for the mizbeach, says Reb Shimon l'shitasa, since tomorrow it's okay, so today you're chayiv on a loisasa.
Why did Reb Shimon argue by the case of Menaseh Mayim before Sukkot? It's also Mechusar Zman.
That's a different time. First of all, that's the zman, not the object.
Okay, also a carbon.
I don't know. Let's see. What?
Before 8 days also.
That we'll see also. Oisoy ves benoi umechusar zman potter. So there's a isser in the Torah that says you're not allowed to shech the mother and its offspring. Oisoy means oisa. The mother and the offspring, you're not allowed to shech in the same day. 2 different days, yes. So now, you know for a fact that you shechted the mother today on Sunday. So you're not allowed to shech the baby on Sunday. So you go ahead and you shech the baby on Sunday outside of the Beis HaMikdash. Potter, since it's not available right now to the Mizbeach, it's Potter. Reb Shimon Oimer, Harei Zeh b'lo yisaseh. No, you're over in the lo yisaseh. Why? Because tomorrow it would have been available. Reb Shimon Oimer, Kol shu roi lova lachar zman, Harei Zeh b'lo yisaseh ve'im b'kares. V'chacham oirim, Kol she'im b'kares, ein b'lo yisaseh. Says Reb Shimon, if it's available tomorrow, you get a lo yisaseh. You're right, you don't get kares, you get a lo yisaseh. Chacham say no. They're dependent on each other. Kares creates a lo yisaseh, no kares, no lo yisaseh. This is a new Mishnah, so we're going to pause it for a second. Turning to the Daf, Adar Global, special experts in international payments, Encore Healthcare, L'schus, Refuah Shlema, L'yeled, Michol ben Shulamis, L'schus Hatzlacha, L'kol Klal Yisrael. Next Mishnah, Mechusar Zman. If it's not the right time, Ben Beguvoy, Ben Ba'alav. Whether it's in the actual carbon or the chesaron in time is the owner. Ezim Mechusar Zman Ba'alav. What does that mean? Hazava. They have to wait 7 days to become tar. And they didn't wait. They jumped the gun. They brought the carbon on the 3rd day instead of the 8th day. It's kedai once in a while. Chazara, Tazrim, Tzaira. If a woman gives birth to a zachar, she's tummy for 7 days. Then she's tahar. She has freebies for 33 days. And on day 40, she brings a carbon. An animal and a bird. And if she can't afford it, 2 birds. The second bird instead of the animal. If she gives birth to a girl, then everything is double. 14 days she's tamei, and 66 days she's tar. No matter what, dam, not dam, she's tar. And on day 80, she brings the karbanos. So if she jumps the gun, she brings it on day 30. That's mechusar zman. She brought it too early. So you shech that outside of the Beis HaMikdash, it's too early. You were makriv the chatos or the asham outside of Beis HaMikdash. Pturim. You're potter. Why? Because it's not the time yet. However, they say if you shech the oila, we have to know what a shlamim has to do over here. B'chutz chayavim. Why? Because the oila and the shlamim are nedava, and nedava you can bring it any time. So you brought it early, you chayav. Hamale mibsar chatos. Now we're talking about the meat that's available for human consumption, for your barbecue. Once you put the imurim on the mizbeach, you're allowed to eat the meat, the steaks. So if you take that meat and you put it on the mizbeach outside your house, it's nothing. You didn't do anything. It's your steak. So you're acting silly. Instead of putting it on a barbecue, you put it on a mizbeach. You don't get kares for that. Mibsar osham, same thing. Mibsar kochim, doesn't matter if it's a chatos or asham. Mibsar kochim kalim, it doesn't matter if it's shlamim. So you put it on the mizbeach. Umoisar oimer, the leftover from the oimer. What's the oimer? You bring a carbon oimer made out of barley. Second day of Pesach. That's to allow you to eat the new crop of wheat, barley. Ushte alechem, and the 2 breads of shvuas. Velechem aponim, and the 12 breads of the lechem aponim. You put it on the shulchan. You eat it on Shabbos. All these, v'sheyar menachos, and this also, the leftover mincha, these are all things that if you bring outside, you do an avodah with it. Not that you do the avodah, but you're being makri of these things outside the Beis HaMikdash, you're potter. From here we have a whole new category. These are people performing an avodah. The avodah of hayotzek, pouring the oil onto a mincha. Ba'poises, breaking up a certain type of mincha, minchas mafet hanur, which is thick. It's hard. You break it into 4 pieces. V'haboilel, mix up the mincha. V'amerleach, putting the salt on all the karbanos. Every piece of carbon needs salt. V'hamenif, and You wave it. We showed the video many times. I'm not going to show it again. Doing halacha, hiva, up, down, right, left. V'hamagish. This I do want to point out what it is, because we don't have it that often. No, not this. Sorry. This is a magish maybe. This one. He takes the mincha and he puts it on the what corner? Southwest corner, and he touches the mizbeach with it. That's magish. V'amisadir shulchan, and he takes, let's say, the shulchan outside of the Beis Hamikdash and he starts putting the breads in the right on the shelves. V'amidav saneres, he takes the menorah outside of the Beis Hamikdash and he puts he sets up the wicks. V'akoymetz, and he does kmitza outside. V'amikabel dam b'chutz. Oh, so we spoke about shchita outside. That's Issachar. We spoke about putting on the mizbeach Issachar. What about in between? He does the kabbalas hadam outside of the Beis Hamikdash. Patur. V'chayavim alav lo mishum zaros. And if you do this inside the Beis Hamikdash, you do kmitza, you do hagasha, you do meinif, all these things, and you're Yisrael, you don't get misa for it. You're not over. V'lo mishum tuma. And you're not over if the kohen is tamei and he does kmitza or does meitiv v'saneiros, all these things, he's not over. V'lo mishum mechutz begadim, and also if he's not wearing the proper bigdei kuna. V'lo mishum mechutz yadayim v'reglayim, and if he forgot to wash his hands and his feet, he's not over. Another Mishnah. In the midbar, before there was a mishkan, so there was private bamos. You're allowed to make a private mizbeach, and the avodah was done with the firstborn. Who was the firstborn here? Me.
The good old days.
Yeah, very few. Wow, this whole side. There's no b'charim on this whole side. Oh. You do one of these. You're still. I'm not going to ask you any questions on that. How do you know you're the firstborn? Okay. You want to redeem yourself? Oh, because he's a b'char. If you want to redeem yourself, you have to come every day, tzaddik. Mati, everybody said, put the pressure on. We need him here. No, we need Mati. The beginning was that his wife was getting a license, and it's Eretz Yisrael, and you have to go through a whole thing. So every day it's another ma'aseh. You're not a b'char, huh? You are? You are a b'char. I thought there's very few b'charim. Can't believe it. Mamash b'char, get over here. Mamash chidush. Look, if you think about it, people have more than one son, and a lot of people start off with the girls. There's not that many b'charim, but there's a lot more b'charim than kohanim. That's for sure. But one thing that I heard about, I don't know if this is true. We have to do some research about it. That b'charim are more sensitive than non-b'charim because they don't have an older sibling that beats them up. It makes sense.
I'll go back to what I said earlier.
You are in the b'char? You're in the b'char. Okay, listen, there's always the yotzim in a klal. Okay? Actually, the bama became also once there was a mishkan to have a private bama. It switched unfortunately to the kohanim, and that's how it's going to be forever. The avodah is done by kohanim. This rule remains solid throughout the whole Mishnah. When we're dealing with kachi kachim, like a chatas and asham, you could only eat it inside of the walls of the mishkan of the azara. Bekachim kalim, this changes a lot. If it's like shlamim, a taida, where do you eat it? B'chol machne Yisrael, in all of the Yisrael's encampment. This is a gewaldige video they did. Beautiful. Check this out. I like it a lot. This explains the whole, because we're going to be talking about now Gilgal, Noiv and Givoin, the different staffs that Klal Yisrael did.
When Bnei Yisrael crossed the Yarden, the Mishkan was placed in Gilgal, near Yericho. The Mishkan stood there for 14 years while the land was conquered and divided. During this time, Bamois were permitted, and the Aaron Abris often went out with them to battle. From there, the Mishkan moved to Shilai, where a stone structure was built. This period was called Menucha, the rest. For 369 years, Bamois were prohibited, and all korbanos were brought only to Shilai. But when Eli HaKohen died and the Aaron Habris was captured, Shilai was destroyed. The Mishkan then moved to Noiv Irak Rehanim, and later to Givoin. Together, these periods lasted just 57 years. During this period, the status of menucha was lost and bamais were once again permitted. In the 4th year of Shlomo HaMelech's reign, the Beis HaMikdash was built in Yerushalayim. This was the Nachalah, the ultimate inheritance. It became the permanent dwelling for generations, where the Isser Bamais returns forever, marking the end of the Mishkan's long journey.
Okay, Givaldik. So now, here's another one. It's his favorite video now. His favorite.
Needs a little upgrade for
Huh?
What on?
Now it's your favorite. Ben Gvir this, Yosef. Bo'li Gilgal, another Mishnah Rabbi say. They came to Gilgal, they came into Eretz Yisrael. Bo'li Gilgal. 14 years of conquering and dividing. 7 conquering, 7 dividing. Hudra Bamas. There's no Mizbeach yet, so everybody made their own Bama. Kachi Kedoshim Nechal Mefnim and Aklayim. The Kachi Kachim were eaten inside of the walls of, I guess there was a Bama G'dayla. V'kachim kalim b'chol makom. This is a different lashon. Before we said it b'kol machna. Now we're saying b'kol makom. You could eat it anywhere throughout Eretz Yisrael. Bo l'shiloi. I thought this is fascinating. I did some research. Who lived 369 years ago? That's the amount of time. 369. It's a long time. You know, 369 years ago is when the Arizal lived. The Marsha, the Shach, the Taz, the Ramah. Oh, that's forever. 369 years. Well, the Shiloi, once they came to Shiloi, Nesra Bamas. No more Bamas. V'lo Sham Tikra. In Shiloi, there's no ceiling made out of your typical wood. Elo Beis Avadim Levad Milamaton. The walls were made out of stone. By Yeriyos Milamalan, and on top, instead of a wooden ceiling, there's fabric. The Hoysa Menucha. You heard that on the video, but it means over here, the famous pasuk, Kilei Vasem Ad Ota El Hamenucha Vel Anachla. So there's 2 periods of time. One is called the Menucha and one is called the Nachla. Menucha is you're resting, okay. But it's not the Nachla. Nachla means the inheritance of forever, and that's referring to the Beis HaMikdash in Yerushalayim. So says the Mishnah, Vihi Hoysa Menucha. We were there for 369. That's a long time. It's Menucha. Kachi Kedashim Nechal Mefnim and Aklayim. Again, once again, within the walls, eat Kachi Kachim, Kachim Kalim, Umaysa Sheni, B'chol Araya. A third category of wherever you can see it. If you're on some mountaintop, you can see it. Not in all of Eretz Yisrael, not in every Machna. Only B'chol Araya, you have to be able to see it. Yeah, next Mishnah.
Shiloh was in this parsha.
Yeah? Is that it? I don't know if that's it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I don't know if that's, that's not Shiloh the place. Bola Noiva Givon. They came to Noiva Givon. You saw it in the video. Another Mishnah. Hutra Abamais. So once again, Abamais with mutter. You're allowed to eat the kachim inside the walls. Kachim kalim b'chol orei Yisrael in all the cities of Klal Yisrael. Next Mishnah. Boil Yerushalayim. They finally come to Yerushalayim. Nesra Abamais. The Bamas became Asr, and they were forever Asr. They will forever be Asr. There's no more Bama in your backyard. The Oisa Nachla, and that's what the Torah is referring to. Nachla. Once again, only within the walls can you eat kachim kalim or ma'aseh lifnim and achayma. That's what we were talking about. The whole masechta that you have to eat kachim kalim inside of Yerushalayim, inside the wall. Next Mishnah. Kol kachim shekdishim shas isa Bamas. If you designated this animal when it was also to have a bama, let's say during Shiloi, and you didn't listen, you makriv it on your own private bama, that's the cars that we're talking about the whole parak. But if you're allowed to be magdashit, but you weren't makriv it right away, you waited, and all of a sudden became also to use a bama. Harei elu ba'asei v'lo yisasei. You get an asei and lo yisasei. What did you do wrong, Rabbi Yisai? What did you do wrong? You waited. You pushed it off. You procrastinated. You didn't call your friend to tell him to join Mesechus Menachos. Procrastination is also. You don't get cars. Higdisha b'shas yisar abamos. But if you designated it when it was asur to bring a private carbon, but you got lucky, it became mutter. You don't get a loisase, you get a nase. You weren't supposed to designate it as. Next Mishnah. If you makriv, you designated something for the Mishkan, karbonis sibur krivim b'Mishkan, you have to bring the communal karbonis in the Mishkan. For karbonis hayachid b'bama. And your private ones you bring in your backyard. Karbonis hayachid shugdushu l'Mishkan, yikrivu b'Mishkan. If you designated a private carbon, but you said it should go in the regular Mishkan, that's where you should bring it. But if you didn't listen to yourself, and you said, you know what, I'm too lazy today, I'm not going to bring it to the Mishkan, I'm going to do it in my backyard, potter. Where lies the difference between a communal bama and a bamas yachid? How else do we call these? A bamas yachid and a bamas tzibur, a boisai, bama g'doyla and bama ktana. Smicha, leaning on the animal, you need only bama g'doyla. Ushchita safa, shechting it in the north is only in bama g'doyla. Umatan saviv, and doing the zrikas adam on two corners that are four. Utnufa. So Rashi says, interesting, Knufa over here is referring to the mincha, not to the meat. Va'agasha, and bringing it to the corner, southwest corner. Don't worry about it, there's no such thing as a mincha by a bama. V'kiyum big disharis, on a bama g'doyla you need kohanim, and you need the right clothing, and the right vessels. It has to have the aroma, like putting a piece of steak on a grill, goes psh, and you have that smell. You can't grill it first and then put it on the mizbeach. There's a red line on the Mizbeach, Chuta Sikra, and what do you put above the red line? A chatos, and oilas, oiv. The Richot Tzidai Verglayim, Bamagdoila requires washing the hands and the feet. Aval Zman, this is everybody's trauma from Zevachim. Zman, what's Zman? Pigol, Hanoisar, Vatome, Shavim Bezebezeh, you can do Pigol Noisar Tome on a Bamaktana. Raboisai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.